Hey, it's Jack from Alpha Charts with a state of the market video. Today is February 12th, 2023. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, so this is the equal weighted S&P on my screen, and I just have it up here just to kind of show you guys that to me, this looks more like a bottom than a top. Again, we may get a pullback 5% or so, which may have already started, but we already have a flattening 200-day, rising 50-day. And so overall, it's a constructive looking chart. That being said, we want to go ahead and look at for the best names possible and see if we can, maybe wiggle into them and get into them. I have 20 names for you this week, okay? 20 names. We're going to start with AI here, and I'm going to, by the way, I'm using Deep View as my charting, and also I'm going to pull up this tab and let you guys see the fundamentals underneath here. And so you can, again, just make your own opinions on this, okay? AI, just gigantic volume coming in here. It needs to come back. Again, you can see pretty strong fundamentals down below. Bandwidth Corporation, improving fundamentals, but, it is what it is. But looking at technical, we have a flat 200-day. And, again, it's a definite area that we could manage risk against if it gets above $28. C-Day. Again, rising now 200-day, which I really love. Great growth coming in here. And again, nice volume showing up. And let me do this. Yeah, it's in here. There we go. I can even do something like that, right? So that's kind of like the area that I would watch. And see, right? Price comes back, maybe retest 72.50-ish. That could be an interesting spot. Confluent, again, back above the 200-day. This one to me needs a little bit more work on this chart. But that being said, it's kind of nice to, this general area right there. But again, some good growth in this name, and maybe even turning profitability next year or later this year. CRDO, Frito Group, again, just trying to do its first real IPO base and breakout. Data isn't here, but you see what data we do have. Pretty insane growth numbers. Sprinkler, again, it needs more work on this one, but again, nice growth numbers. And I like this flag, right? It's kind of a tight flag again, but needs more work. Double Verify, nice gap up right there. And now it's about to get the cross in the 50, 200-day, again, in good growth numbers. FLNC, Fluence Energy, it was one of those IPOs that just kind of crapped, and then now it's starting to make higher highs and higher lows. And again, if it can reclaim the 23-day, right, or at least hold the 50-day, right, depending on how you want to play this, it could be really, really good. This is Shift for payments, payment software, I believe. We have starting to get a rising 200-day on this one. Nice bottoming look, and now it's on the 23-day, so you can manage risk multiple places in here. Again, good growth numbers overall. Light and Wonder, again, it kind of peaked over here in October, came back, made a base, and now is trying to move out, right? We'll see what happens, but it's trying to. Lifetime Group, IPO'd not too long ago, made its first base, popped out of that base pretty hard. And I was hoping it was going to come back in this area. It didn't, but now it's starting to come back. So we'll see if it can tighten up and then move higher. PagerDuty has great growth numbers. don't love the way it looks waterfall-ish, but the 200-day is flattening, and so if it could kind of tighten up a little bit, that'd be nice. Remitedly, again, crapped out on the IPO, long base, needs that reset, hasn't, needs to get above 1371, 1375-ish. Spotify, I'm not sure what's going on with Spotify, but they are, looks much different, right? Went from 300 to 70, and now we're back to 125. So, a nice little flag and tightness in here, right? They're also showing some potential growth, by decreasing losses, and some growth down here. So we like that. Toast earnings this week. Again, know your earnings dates, by the way. Again, newer name, very similar looking chart. And now we popped out here, came back in for the retest. We got the earnings, and there's some pretty good growth that way. Uber, Lyft had a terrible earnings. I'm not sure what when Uber's is, or if it's already happened. I couldn't even tell you. So know your earnings dates. I'm not in this one, but we'll see if it just comes back, retest this area, then moves higher or not. Polaris looks like it came back, retested, and now it's just flagging out. Looks really good, and great growth numbers for an oil and gas company. XM, so it kind of came down, obviously, like everything else did, made its first base. Giant move over here off of this earnings day right there. Came back, now is retesting the area, so it's starting to look good again, right? About to get the cross here, so a lot of things working well for Qualtrics. This should be off this. I'm deleting this one. I just got to set back up again. No reason to be involved in that. And then the last one is Mobileye. This is stair stepping, right? Stair, maybe another stair. So consider that. Again, each pullback, there's been pullbacks within these stairs, right? But overall, it looks like a stair stepper. Good growth numbers. I don't think it's had its lockup period expire yet. So just be aware that it probably has a lockup period. Usually it's around 6 months after it comes on the market as a new issue. And, this came back in October, November, December, January, February, maybe in March, but look that up, right? You don't want to be holding position and lockup period happens and everyone starts all the insiders start dumping, right? So just be careful with that. All right, so that's what I got for you. 19 names ended up being. Just know that the market isn't as bad yet, at least, as what maybe Twitter or social media make it sound like it is. That could change, but as of right now, I think we're going to get through February and things will be setting up really nicely to the end of February with earnings out of the way, or mostly out of the way. The nice base on all the indexes really starting to set up. Moving averages like the 200-day flattening to potentially rising. A lot of positive action under the surface seems to be going on. So just don't get too bearish until it's time to be bearish, right? Y'all take care. Have a great day.